Can I slip under your blanket?
What if you had to become a monster to save the one person you loved? And what if 15 years later you had to save her again?
We're in a sterile, minimalist office. It's a cage made of glass and steel, 50 stories above the city. Arland Hayes, the lion, stands in a perfect, dark suit. He is the cold, ruthless boss. His second-in-command, Rico, stands by the door. Boss, the rivals are asking for a meet. It's the third time they're testing you. Arland doesn't turn. He stares out the window at the city. His voice is flat, dead. Let them wait. This was the performance. The cold, untouchable lion his father raised. But every second of it was a lie. The man was a ghost. Rico leaves. The second the door clicks shut, Arland's face crumbles. The lion vanishes, replaced by a man in profound, unending pain. He walks to his desk. He unlocks a hidden biometric locked drawer. Inside, there is no gun. There are no ledgers. There is just a single worn copy of Forbes magazine. And on the cover is Mara, a powerful, brilliant, beautiful black woman, the CEO of Linux Dynamics. The headline, "The Woman Who Built an Empire from Nothing." He'd been protecting her from a distance for 15 years, watching her, obsessed. He had become this thing, so she could become that. A news alert flashes on his screen. CEOMARALENOXATCHARITREATASPE. He grabs his keys. His meetings were a lie. His business was a lie. This was his only ritual. This was his old account. He's on a mountain road. He's not at the retreat. He's a mile down the road. His armored SUV is parked, hidden. He's just watching through binoculars. He just needed to see her, to see that his sacrifice was worth it. But the sky is turning a sick, dark gray. A blizzard is exploding onto the mountain. Fast. He sees her SUV, the corporate one, try to leave the lodge. He knows her. She's too stubborn to be told to wait. The SUV hits a patch of black ice. It skids, swerves, and crashes into a snowbank, teetering precariously over the edge of a deep, dark ravine. And in that one sickening instant, the lion and Arlie went to war. The lion screamed, "Stay hidden. You are a ghost. Don't expose yourself." But Arlie was already gunning the engine. He pulls up to the wreck. He yanks open her door. She's dazed, a thin line of blood on her temple. She looks at him, and her eyes are not scared. They are not grateful. They are full of 15 years of pure, undiluted hatred. A whisper, full of venom. "Arland, hey, Mara, we have to go. The car, it's not stable." The emotional tantrum begins. "Get away from me! I knew you were filth, but I didn't know you were a stalker too. There's no time. The blizzard is here," screaming, hitting his hand away. "I would rather freeze to death than be touched by you. Don't you come near me, you thing." He had broken her heart to save her from his rivals. And now he had to save her from the storm. The ground groans. Not the car, the mountain, an avalanche, a wall of white ice thundering down toward them. His lion instinct, the one he hated, was the only thing that could save them. He doesn't ask, he doesn't beg. Roaring, "Enough!" he grabs her, his arm like a steel band, pulling her from the car. She's screaming, hitting his chest, a primal, furious sound. "Let me go! I hate you! Let me go!" He throws her over his shoulder, a desperate, brutal act, and runs. He knows this mountain. He knows the cave. He dives with her into a dark, rock-hewn opening, just as the avalanche obliterates the car and seals the cave entrance behind them. Silence, darkness. The only sound is their two ragged breaths. He drops her. She scrambles to the far side of the cave, a shadow against the ice. She is crying, but her sobs are angry. Her voice is a low, shaking snarl. You animal. You think you saved me? You just trapped me." His voice is raw, the lion gone, just the pain of Arlie. "I just saved your life, Mara. You ended my life 15 years ago. This is just a technicality. So what do? You just saved the woman you love, and she'd still rather see you dead. How do you get a woman who hates you to beg you for your warmth? We're about to find out. So what do? You just saved the woman you love, and she'd still rather see you dead. How do you get a woman who hates you to beg you for your warmth? We're about to find out. The cave was a tomb. The avalanche had sealed the entrance with a wall of ice and rock, plunging them into a thick, ringing darkness. The only sound was Mara's ragged, angry sobs and the slow, steady drip of melting ice. She was on one side of the cave, he was on the other. Trapped. He didn't speak. He methodically unzipped his go-bag. This wasn't panic. This was control. This was the lion he had forced himself to become. A sharp crack, and a cold, chemical red light flooded the space. He'd snapped a flare. The light revealed her. She was pressed against the far wall, her face pale, her eyes burning with a dark, furious fire. Her hatred was the only thing keeping her warm. The light gave her a target, her voice shaking but full of venom. So this is it? This is the big plan? After 15 years, you just stalk me, run me off a road, and trap me in a cave? I just saved your life, Mara. She laughs, a sharp, broken sound. You saved me? You think this is the first time you've tried to bury me? No, you don't get to be the hero, not you. I want the truth, Arland, and right now, tell me why. Why? She's pushing herself up, trembling. 15 years, I have run that night over and over in my head. What did I do? What did I say? Was I not family enough for you? Not rich enough? Not good enough? I loved you, and you gutted me. You threw me away like trash. He's on his feet, his voice raw. So, you left. You built an empire on hating me. Good, that's what I wanted. She stops. The silence in the cave is absolute. What did you say? You thought he was a monster? You thought she was just a victim? You were wrong. The truth is always more painful. He takes a step toward her, his face in agony. My father died, and that night, his rivals, our rivals, they came to me. They sat me down, and they gave me the choice. His voice drops to a whisper. They said, you can be the new lion, or you can be a memory, and you, Mara, you'll be the first loose end we tie up. They were going to kill you, Mara, to get to me. I couldn't let them. I had to. I had to make you run. I had to make you hate me. So I lied. I said those things. I broke your heart because it was the only way I knew to keep it beating. Mara just stared, her whole life and her entire world. The rage that had fueled her, the ambition, the empire, it was all built on a lie. And it wasn't even her lie. It was his. She began to shake, a deep, uncontrollable shiver that had nothing to do with the truth. The cold was finally breaking through. Arlen saw it. He turned away, his confession hanging in the frozen air. He worked quickly, using a fire starter from his kit to spark a small, smokeless flame. He opened the last item in his bag, a single high-tech thermal blanket. He laid it by the fire, an offering, a truce. She didn't move. She just watched him, her mind screaming. To accept that blanket was to accept his truth, to admit that her 15 years of hatred was a waste, that this monster was actually a martyr. Her pride was all she had left. Her voice is ice. Stay away from me. He didn't argue. He just sat by the fire and waited. The minutes ticked by. The cold in the cave was a physical weapon. It was a living thing sinking its teeth into her. Her shivers were no longer just shivers. They were violent, painful convulsions. Her teeth chattered so hard she had to bite her lip to stop them. He just watched. His face was a mask of torture. This was his hell, forced to watch her suffer, all over again. What do you do when your pride is all you have left, but it's not enough to keep you alive? What do you choose, a cold death or a warm surrender to the man who ruined your life? A single tear froze on her cheek. She couldn't fight her own body. She looked at him, at this stranger who had been her beginning and her end, and she broke. A whisper, so quiet it was barely human, the ultimate surrender. Can I slip under your blanket? So what happens when 15 years of burning, furious hatred collapses into one whispered plea? A whisper, so quiet it was barely human. The ultimate surrender. Can I slip under your blanket? Arlen didn't speak. He just opened the thermal blanket. The act was a lifetime. It was an apology, a confession, and a question, all in one. She moved, crawling across the rock, closing the 15-year gap. She didn't lean into him. She just sat under the blanket, 2 feet away, her body shaking so violently the foil blanket crackled. Silence. The fire crackled. The wind howled. They were 2 ghosts trapped in a tomb, huddling for warmth. Her voice no longer angry, just empty. So all of it, my company, my life, it was all just a game you were playing. His voice raw, just Arlie. It was the only way I could keep you safe. She scoffs, a bitter, broken sound. Safe? You call this safe? You made me a weapon, Arland. I built my whole life on hating you. And now you tell me the one thing that made me me was a lie. He looks at her, his face a map of 15 years of pain. It was my lie, not yours. Before she could answer, his other life came crashing in. The satellite phone, the boss phone. It lit up the dark cave, buzzing violently on the rock, a text from Rico. The message glowed in the darkness, a single sentence. Rivals moving, need go order. Now, this was it, the final dilemma. Mara saw the text. She saw his face. This was the moment. The man who had just confessed his 15-year sacrifice was about to be forced to become the monster he pretended to be. She whispers, terrified. Arland, who are you? He looked at the phone. He looked at her. The lion, or Arle, what do? Do you become the monster one last time to protect your kingdom? Or do you let your kingdom burn to finally save your soul? He picked up the phone. His thumbs began to move. He wasn't just typing. He was dismantling his own life. He didn't write go. He didn't write wait. He wrote a novel, a confession, a resignation, and a plan. He was giving his third option. He typed, Rico, I'm not coming back. The lion is dead. The avalanche got me. This is my last order, and it's for you. Don't fight. Sell. Tell the rivals the kingdom is theirs. For a price. They're businessmen, not just killers. Use my death as leverage. Liquidate everything. The cars, the clubs, the accounts, all of it. Pay our men, give them a choice to get out. And the rest, he paused. He looked at Mara. The rest, you burn. Burn the blood money, burn the whole damn thing to the ground. This isn't a kingdom, Rico. It's a prison. And the door is finally open. We're done. Be free. He hit send, and then, with a simple, quiet gesture, he threw the satellite phone against the cave wall, where it shattered into 100 pieces. Silence. It was over. He had just used his lion authority for the one and only time to kill the lion forever. He had just sacrificed his kingdom, just as he had sacrificed his life. For her, he looked at Mara. He had no power. He had no money. He had no name. He was just Arland. And for the first time in 15 years, he was free. When the storm finally broke 2 days later, they were rescued. A news helicopter found them. The world was told a story. A CEO and a local businessman trapped by the storm, helping each other survive. But the real story was the one that happened next. Arlen Hayes, the lion, was declared missing, presumed dead in the avalanche. His empire, as Rico reported, fractured and collapsed overnight. It was all gone. A few months later, a small, bright art gallery. Sun is streaming in. The walls are covered with stunning landscape photos. Mountains, rivers, storms. Arland is there, hanging a frame. He's in a simple t-shirt. He looks young, a knock. It's Mara. She's not in a CEO power suit. She's in jeans and a sweater, holding 2 cups of coffee. She looks at the photos. She looks at him. Her voice is soft. I'm liquidating my empire too. I'm selling the company. He smiles a real early smile. Where are we going? She hands him his coffee, and she takes his hand. Somewhere warm, and this time we're going together. True power isn't the crown you wear. It's not the name you're given. It's the courage to finally put the crown down, to walk away from the prison and choose the person you were always meant to be. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had to lose everything to finally find yourself? Let me know your story in the comments, and thank you for listening.